So it's all about changing habits, bettering yourself, as you said. Martial arts, life, it's all the same. It's like people. The last thing I wanted to mention in this, and then, of course, if you have any questions, I want to mention imagination training, using your imagination. Okay? In the martial arts, you know samurai, you know the word samurai? You heard of it? They use it all the time, imagination training. So maybe I'll tell you a story about it. Anyway, the point is, your unconscious brain does not distinguish between real, what we call real experiences, like life. Like, I'm looking at you, and right now, this is reality. So it's real. It's not my imagination, hopefully. Okay? So this is one experience. But it's like imagine something. It doesn't happen in the real world. Just my imagination. For my unconscious brain, the two are the same. Are you with me? They're not the same. Okay. So, to acquire skill, like martial arts, whatever, it's very useful to use imagination training. I have the image in my brain, okay, and I feel, see, train how it would feel like without actually doing it. Still, in my brain, it develops. The wiring I mentioned before happens, although it's purely imagination. Let me give you a nice story which would clarify this further. So, in Japan, there was this great master of the sword, sword, kendo, sword. And he had two top students. And he was older, so he started thinking about his successor. He wanted to choose who would be the next one after him. Okay, so he called the two students and gave them a challenge, a test. What they had to do is imagine a drop of water falling from the ceiling to the floor. It takes a short time. They had to cut through this drop of water as many times as possible with a sword on its way from the ceiling to the floor. That's the test. Whoever does more wins and is going to be the next master. Okay? And they had 1 week to prepare. Okay. The first one of the two went home and with a sword, was trained all day. Spreading, working out, work. Okay. The second one sat idle, didn't move at all, and did what I mentioned before, imagination training, in his imagination. And then he was breathing, and then just said, and then connect your elbows. So slowly, he went from the image of cutting through to the actual thing. A week after, just to complete the story, test, who you think won? Well, the story wouldn't have a point, but so the second one obviously won. And the point is, imagination training. If you want to change yourself, act differently in some situation. Of course, you can should train in real life, but using imagination training is very useful and efficient. Okay. I want to say, to conclude this, I want to say something about Pesach, Passover, with your permission. So we just